into questions for Coach.
All right.
Coach, just what are your overall thoughts from today and just, with the environment, first home duel of the season?
Yeah. Always exciting opportunities to get in Carver and have our women compete in front of anyone excited for women's wrestling or curious about women's wrestling, This was, added to the schedule. The last 2 years we had 2 home duels, and I wanted a third, and I've been wanting an all Iowa duel try, so to speak, and just really wanting to have that as a start of the season for years to come. Yeah, it was good. They went a good handful of our team, almost half the team went to Luther Hill, and a quick turnaround to a home duel. I think about national championships as a 2-day tournament. You weigh in twice. Not a whole lot of opportunities throughout the season to get to practice that, the two-day weigh-in and 2 days of competition. So try to mimic that at the beginning of the season just to see where we're at, how we feel, and use that as information throughout the season.
So you kind of mentioned those things. It's, Reese does what she does. You have guys, girls that are doing the Luther Hill Open, and then you also have freshmen walking out in like their first opportunity as well. So you have a lot of battle testing, I think, going on. How beneficial is that to get it early on, to have all those things kind of right from the get-go to get going?
Absolutely. It gives us information of where we're at and where they're at, as far as each individual that steps out there, whether it's a freshman going out there competing in Carver for the first time. And I thought they did great. They are so like business and tested in front of what's in front of them, and that's what we focus on. Is not about tomorrow, not about the home duel while you're at Luther Hill or while you're at the All-Star Classic and you're competing late and you have a early flight the next day and whatnot. It's about, okay, you know how to prepare for these moments and just take care of what's in front of you. If Reese thought about home duel before All-Star Classic, maybe she doesn't have the kind of match she had last night, So, yeah, that's just all lessons for the whole team. So,
when you have somebody like Carly who's making her collegiate debut, getting an opportunity to do those the 2-day weigh-ins, what was it like watching her compete last night, and then also again get 2 wins on her birthday and the whole thing too?
Yeah, no, it's great. Harley's been on the big stage before. I think people sometimes forget she's competed Pan Am Games and World Championships in judo. So she is very, goes about business and gets things done and, knows where she wants to be. And as a freshman, that's awesome, right? She took on Carver on her birthday with her family in the stands and just took care of business and just competed. And that's awesome, Glad she's a Hawk.
How would you say her adjustment to the program has been overall, even just what she's bringing to the team besides the wins today?
Yeah. I like looking at the team as a lot of them are so diverse in different styles of what they bring, right, individually. And Harley brings a different style. And there's been a lot, some cases in practices where I'll use her as an example of how to wrestle her style, and it really is sorry, Harley, I'm not trying to show them how to whatever, but it also is good for her to work through, when people avoid or try to stop whatever she wants to execute. So it allows the room to just evolve and get better and work in areas that might feel unfamiliar. If you're not used to or you don't get thrown, when you go out and compete, you don't know when it's going to come. You don't know how to defend it until you get someone who knows how to throw in front of you. So she's a huge asset to the team in that regard.
Is it cool?
Yeah.
Is there something to freshmen, redshirt freshmen, sophomores coming in and there doesn't seem, at least for some of them, there doesn't seem to be a ramp up period? Is the expectations are kind of everyone has the same expectations? Would you say that's true in your program?
Yeah, and I think with the growth of women's wrestling and just how the generations as women's wrestling just gets deeper and deeper and better throughout the years, the they just push each other, right? So that is the standard in the room, you know. It's like they wrestle. Sorry. You have someone who like Harley, who's a true freshman wrestling. I know Nyla's been off the mat, but a senior, you know, in the room, and who's been on the Pan Am and world level in wrestling as well. So, you know, they grow and learn together within the room, right? So they have no choice to figure it out, right? If the true freshman is getting taken down by Kylie and Kennedy and, you know, Macy and Reese and, you know, down the line, you're figuring out as you go and do, right? And it can be hard. It can be really hard, but, you know, it's finding the little wins, right? Finding those little wins within those hard days.
You mentioned coming back for the first time after her 2 years not being able to compete. What was it like? I know you had a pretty big smile on your face when you saw her come out. What was that like for you as a coach, you've seen her go through all of that and to be able to finally compete?
Yeah, I mean, just like she says, she's that person that works so hard and is always so disciplined and does the things the right way all the time, no matter what, whether you're watching or not watching. And it's so bizarre to me to think, I remember recruiting her and just thinking how excited I am for her to wear that like Hawkeye singlet. It just took a little bit longer of a road for her than anyone, even herself, anticipated. But that's a special moment of, you know, the support, exactly like she said, behind her journey to like get better and recover and be ready for moments like this, right? Because she doesn't do it alone, you know. She has a team behind her, you know. So grateful for the healthcare system, medical team here at Iowa, and, you know, her family really being with her and supporting her through her journey, but her teammates, like she mentioned, and it's hard. It's hard to be injured for that long of a period. And she did it with such great, I would say, optimism throughout the whole time. So, yeah.
Can you talk about, you know, the decision to bump Cadence and Kennedy today?
Yeah, you know, it's we always want to. Naomi just went to a development camp, and Kylie just got back from World Championships. You know, it's a decision of resiliency for the team that we can do things like that if we need to, right? So I thought they lean in and, you know, asked everyone up from Cadence and Kennedy, you know, like, hey, willing to move up, whatever you need, coach, whatever the team needs. And that's what you want, right? You want team players in a sport where you're out there in the middle of the mat against someone else. So.
Clarissa, one more thing I noticed during the second or the third duel was Cornell gets like close to a takedown. They're cheering. And for you guys, like, you give up a takedown, nothing really changes about the final score. Yet, I remember on two occasions, two of your wrestlers, like, they weren't taking it. They're not going to give up a takedown. They're going to win the match. You guys are going to win the duel. Do you consider that like a mental win, a physical win? Is there anything to that like you're specifically proud of, like making it 10-0 as opposed to 10-2?
No, I think I don't necessarily focus on that in the sense of sometimes it's okay, you know, you get taken down. At the end of the day, the name of the game is whoever scores more points or whoever gets a pin. So however that shakes out, right? Because you don't know who you're stepping across the mat from, right? So I don't know. Sometimes I think it's almost the opposite. If if we try too hard to make it a 0 on the other end, then we're overdoing it, or we're missing what's in front of us, and we're focusing on the outcome of that. So, yeah.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry this room didn't get turned over.